everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I make a quick and easy pizza for my son for school. Every Friday they have Pizza Friday, but he can't have gluten or dairy. He is allergic to gluten and dairy, so he can't eat that. Since all the other kids have regular pizza on a Friday, I want to make sure that I try to give him pizza as well in his lunch. That way he doesn't feel left out when everybody else is eating it. So I've tried a bunch of different recipes. I've made gluten-free crust from scratch that did not go very well. And the store-bought kinds, I've tried so many. And I found one that finally works and he loves. So if you're interested in seeing how I make his quick pizza for lunch every Friday, then please keep watching. Okay, so these are the items that I use to make the crust. It's actually really simple. A little bit of salt just for flavoring. The main ingredients are coconut flour and tapioca flour. The tapioca flour, I'm going to show you guys, it makes it nice and chewy, this crust, which since it's also dairy free, it kind of makes up for the cheesy texture. This is just totally the star ingredient right here. You need a 1/4 cup of oil. This is the oil that I'm going to use, the avocado, just because I find that it's a little bit lighter. You can use olive oil or whatever you have on hand, and some coconut milk, as well as you're going to need water.
To make this recipe, you're going to need a bowl, something to mix with, and a measuring cup. I'm going to start off with the 1/4 cup of coconut flour. The measuring cup that I'm using actually has like a line on the inside of it, so I'm using a 1/2 cup measurement, but the inside is a 1/4 cup. Next, I'm going to add in my 1 cup of tapioca flour. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to be making a huge mess. My kitchen always gets so messy, and this is exactly why. Next, I'll add in my 1/4 cup of water, and then a 1/2 cup of full fat coconut milk. I had this one already in the fridge, so I wanted to make sure that I used up what I already had before I opened up another can. And I made another mess. Seriously, I need to get it together. I'm adding in my 1/4 cup of oil. I'm using avocado oil, but as I said before, you can use whatever oil you have on hand. Olive oil works just fine. Once you have all those ingredients in the bowl, just mix until it's fully combined.
Okay, so now that I have destroyed my kitchen, let me show you guys the texture. You're looking for, it shouldn't be like soupy, it should be like kind of thick, like this, like a dough paste, somewhere in between there. This is legitimately how dirty my kitchen gets every time I make something. I'm just a messy cook. Try not to make a mess, but it happens. I'm gonna start heating up my pan to like a medium setting, and I heat up the pan after I make the mixture, because I found out by accident that if you leave the mixture for about like 5 to 10 minutes, it kind of thickens up a little bit, so then you get a better texture for the crust. This recipe I actually found on one of my favorite mamas on Instagram, the Family Food Project. It's her flatbread recipe, but it was exactly what I was looking for like a pizza crust. Like I said, I've tried so many different recipes for my son that just weren't working out. So when I started looking for flatbread recipes and I saw one on her account, I had to try it. So I'm gonna leave a link to her Instagram account on the description. That way you guys can check it out, because I find so many of my recipes on her account. She has some really amazing recipes and ideas, and I love watching her on Insta stories, so you guys should go check her out. You can see here now that it's like even thicker in texture, and that's what you're looking for. So I'm just gonna take my same measuring cup and take a scoop. Scoop, that's the actual technical term. Depending on the thickness of the crust that you want is how much you're going to spread it out. So it's not going to be like a pancake batter texture where you can kind of see it spread out unless you make it thinner. I prefer working with it like this because then it will stay kind of puffed up. And I'm just gonna make sure that it's round like a pizza crust and let it cook.
I'm going to start putting on the sauce. I'm just using a regular spaghetti sauce, but you can use a pizza sauce if you like. Usually my kids aren't fans of like tomato sauces or marinara sauces. Of course on pizza it usually works, but I actually put a secret ingredient, a sweetener. This is just what I'm using. It's what I have on hand. It's a blue agave sweetener. I actually learned this from my mom. She used to put brown sugar in our spaghetti sauce because the spaghetti sauce has a acidic kind of taste. So if you really want to get your kids to eat a tomato sauce dish, then you can add in a little bit of a sweetener, and I swear it works every time. Now I'm just going to add the veggies that I cut up on here. I'm putting mushrooms, spinach, and some bell peppers. And I put those on first because when you put the cheese on top, it kind of hides them from your kids. My kids, I can get them to eat just about any vegetable as long as it's hidden underneath a layer of cheese, then they still eat it. Once I have all my veggies on my pizza, this is when I add the cheese on, and I'm using the provolone slices. I prefer the provolone slices over the shreds just because I feel like they melt a lot better, but you can choose whichever cheese you like best. I'm also going to add on some sausage. If you want to make this a vegan pizza, then you would just omit that. Because the crust is already cooked, I just put it under the broiler for a few minutes until the cheese is entirely melted. Or if you're really on a time crunch like I usually am, you can also just put it in the microwave. I recommend that you put like a paper towel underneath it because the moisture can make your crust get kind of soft.
Are you ready to eat, Liam?
Yes. Pizza.
Pizza!
It's so nice.
Is it still hot? Good?
Good pizza, Mommy.
Okay. Gracie! Are you upset because you don't get any pizza? Huh? You hear why you're upset? You want your banana? Oh yeah. Teething is no fun, huh baby? Ouch! Did that hurt? Oh. Here, baby. Jackson, you want some pizza too?
Yes, I do, Mommy, please.
Please.
Pizza.
Good?
Have more pizza?
Yum. What's going on? You poor little little thing. Okay.
And on that note, I'm going to be ending the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe and leave me a thumbs up. That way I know that you like it. I intend on doing more videos on recipes like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one.